1:30 having arrived, it is time to begin the House Judiciary Rules and Administration Committee meeting. And our first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Do we have minutes from January 13th and 15th?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes from the 13th and the 15th of January 2025.
Any objection to that? Hearing no objection, the rules are approved. Our first item then on the agenda is RS 31793, presented by Representative Skog. Representative Skog.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee, this bill comes to you from the Chief, from the Office of Administrative Hearings, and Brian Nichols, the director of that outfit. He'll be here at the regular hearing if should you print this, so he'll talk to you about it at the bill hearing. But really, it's pretty simple. Statement of purpose says it all. Although subpoenas are generally permitted in administrative contested cases, this organization needs that ability to bring in witnesses when there's a contested case. And so they don't have a subpoena power. So it's kind of a pain to get things done when they need a witness there and they just send out a subpoena. And the big part of this bill, and I always like bills that say this, no impact on the state's general fund. With that, I'd request the committee vote to print this, or I stand for questions. Or introduce, I should say.
Thank you, Representative. Do we have any questions? Representative Mathias.
For a motion, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
I move to introduce RS 31793.
Is there any discussion on that motion? Okay. Hearing no discussion, how do we vote? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item for repeat appearance, RS 31942, Representative Skog.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bruce Skog, District 10. This legislation proposes the firing squad as the primary enforcement mechanism to administrate the death penalty. As you recall, currently it is a secondary method that we brought, I think it was 2 years ago, following when we could not get the pentobarbital for lethal injections. I see this bill as being less problematic with appeals in the courts. Essentially, if you don't have the bullets, then you go to the pentobarbital. We are set up already out at the Idaho Department of Corrections to build the facility. There's a late date that this comes into effect, not till July of 2026. That is because it's going to take a while to build the facility, and if there's a potential of any executions between now and then, we will still follow the old protocols and get those done before we start building the building, because that will put things down 6 months. There's not going to be any additional funds requested, I am told, by IDOC, because we already appropriated $750,000 for the remodel or build of the facility for firing squad with the appropriate viewing sections and everything. There may be some additional funds that cost to get it built, but those funds are already within their budget and they won't have to request more money. That's what I'm told. So again, this bill is not about whether death penalty is good or bad, but it's already been determined that is how we carry out justice in some cases. The juries have already decided, or the judges, that this is appropriate on a death penalty case for some people. And so our job is to make sure it's carried out in the most efficient manner under the bounds of our Constitution requirements. So I appreciate if you'd print this bill and we can talk about it more at a hearing.
Thank you, Representative. Do we have any questions? Representative Ehart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Skog, when you come back, it was such an interesting topic 2 years ago to deal with. When you come back to present the bill, assuming this moves forward, if you happen to have any examples of other states, we don't have to, I'm just curious if there'd be other states that are doing this and what they've encountered. I would be very curious and appreciative. Thank you.
Representative.
Mr. Chairman, Representative Ehart, As we did 2 years ago, I'm going to bring in a legal expert from the Attorney General's office, and he is the expert, and I'll have him answer all types of questions like that.
Follow-up?
For a motion,
Go ahead.
I move that we introduce RS 31942.
Any discussion on the motion? Representative Gannon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just going to ask a question. Mr. Chairman and Mr. Chairman, both. How many executions by firing squad have there been in the last 40 years in the United States? If you know.
Representative?
Mr. Chairman, Representative Gannon, did you say 4 or 40 years?
40 years. Yeah.
40 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And if you have a different year compilation, that's.
Mr. Chairman, Representative Gannon, I don't know the answer to that. I had that 2 years ago. There have been executions by firing squad in the United States, and it's been determined that that is constitutional by our current past Supreme Courts.
Okay.
Representative Mathias.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be supporting the motion. When this came to us, I think 2 years ago, I just expressed concerns about the state being in the retributive killing business, and I still will bring that sentiment to the full hearing.
Are there any further questions? Okay, RS 31942 is properly before the committee. Well, I will make a motion to approve RS 31942 to introduce it.
All in favor?
And all-
I made the motion. I made that motion, so we're voting on it.
Okay, we're voting on the motion. All those in favor? Aye. Indicate aye. Any opposed? Okay. Our agenda is complete for today. Thank you.